What is up, YouTube? So Valentine's Day is 2 months away, so on and off I'll be talking about gender relation videos throughout the next 2 months, but not nearly as much as I normally do. And as we get closer to Single Awareness Day, I'll go ham with it. Yeah. Like, if I find a girlfriend in the next couple of months that's of age, I know it's not automatically specified, but I don't care. Cool, man. If not, I'm single for the rest of my life. Who fucking gives a shit? Because to be quite honest, YouTube, I'm starting to like being single. It's way less pressure, you know. Sure, it's a bit more lonely than being in a relationship, but that's a pretty fair trade off when you consider all the negatives to having a relationship. Being constantly paranoid that your other half might cheat or do something stupid, you know? And this is something I've seen from a lot of people. Whenever they date, they take on characteristics of their dating partner. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, YouTube, but if your dating partner is a wishy-washy douchebag, and then you start becoming just like that person, people around you are going to notice. And at the end of the day, like I said, if you're an adult and they're an adult and it's consensual, who fucking cares, right? But don't bitch about the problem if you're not going to fix it, you know? I've seen too many people bitch about their relationships, but if they're not willing to fix it or break up with that person, then I don't want to fucking hear it. Don't bitch about the problem if you're not going to fix it. It's just that simple. And besides, being friend zoned is not as bad as you may think. A lot of girls and guys get so much crap for being friend zoned. But you tend to see guys get more crap for it than girls, honestly. But being friend zoned is not necessarily a bad thing because it gives you a chance to see what the person is really like. I say really like because, let's be real, folks, when you're with your other half, you're a different person. When you're casually hanging out with friends or acquaintances, you let your guard down just a little bit and you're a different person. You know? A lot of people have a hard time being honest with their other half just because they're afraid of it might hurt their feelings or it might start a fight, blah, 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 blah. So, of course, they're going to be more honest with their friends about the situation than they are with their own relationship, and that's not healthy. For one, you shouldn't drag someone else into your problems or your problems to fix unless you're asking for advice. And two, like, do you think that's healthy for your relationship to have everyone in your social circle knows about your bullshit? And they're going, no, why the fuck you still with that person? And it's because you don't know what you want, which is perfectly okay. You know, life is full of decisions. Going back to what I said, we've all seen this, like in the episode where Cartman finally gets a girlfriend and Heidi becomes a fat bitch that nobody wants to be around. And then one of her friends commented, "Heidi, you've changed. Ever since you started dating Cartman, you're a different person." And then Heidi's like, "No, I'm not. Fuck you guys." And then as soon as she looks in the mirror, she's like, "Shit." Well, that was a funny episode, couple episodes of South Park, watching Heidi become an even worse female version of Eric Cartman. It was funny, but there was some truth to it, you know? Seeing Heidi take on traits of Cartman and not in a good way either. That is too true for a lot of relationships. If your partner has bad social behaviors or characteristics, they could treat you right, they could be good to you, be good for you, etc. But if they're influencing you in a negative way, it doesn't matter how good they're treating you, they're still bad for you, dude. Let's say, for example, you're a non smoker. So you date someone who smokes, and you like the person enough that you're just like, you don't chew their ass about it. But within a couple of months of dating them, you find yourself smoking a cigarette. And subconsciously, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? But then you see your other half smoking one, and you're like, nah. Maybe you like to drink every now and again, but your partner is a bit of an alcoholic. So what happens then? Subconsciously, you become one too. Is this the case for every relationship? No. Because it doesn't have to be a vice necessarily. It can be personality traits too. Like if you're genuinely a nice person, and dating that other person that you're dating is making you a total bitch, and in the back of your mind you're unhappy with the relationship, that little voice in the back of your head says, this person's not right for you, but you don't know what you want, so you're just like, I'm telling you right now that if you're jumping from one relationship to the next, nobody would be happy with that. You gotta give yourself time to be single and appreciate single life. Because if you don't appreciate single life, you're not going to appreciate your other half. That's just the goddamn truth. A lot of people look at being single as punishment, but really it's a blessing in disguise. Appreciate the friendship that you have with women if you're a dude, because you get to see what that chick is like when you're just friends with her. How is she when she's around her boyfriend versus how she is when she's around you. She's not going to be afraid to be more honest with you because, well, she's not dating you. And that's the problem with relationships, is that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are afraid to be honest with their other half because they're afraid it might result in a fight or communication issues. And when you see your friends going through crap with their relationships, you're just like, maybe being single ain't so bad. And then you see dudes out there who are like 30, 40-year-old virgins who've never had pussy. You're like, dude, that's just fucking sad. You know what? This dry spell ain't shit. Life is full of decisions. But for whatever reason, if you're just sitting there staring at someone until someone else mentions your name and you're just like, what? It's obvious you like that person. I'm not bullshitting you, YouTube. It's just common human psychology 101. If you find yourself staring, if you find yourself staring at someone and, you know, I mean, come on, dude. There are certain things chicks will do when they like you. Now, if you stole a chick's heart and the harder she fights it, the more she realizes, you know what I'm saying? Of course, by that time, it could be too late. You know, you friend zoned that person, so they gave up trying to go after you, and they find someone else who's way better. And then that little part of you goes, shit, I could have had that person when I had the chance. And then that little part of you goes from going, oh, they're just friends, to now you're a little bit jealous because you can't have that person. You see how happy your friend makes his or her other half. And subconsciously you think, that could be you. That could have been you. But relationships suck, so don't rush into it, man. I'm telling you right now. If I find a badass adult goth chick to end my dry spell and be with me, cool. If not, no rush, man. We all die alone anyways, so really our relationships are pointless. Something to entertain the seconds as they pass by. And either way you shape it, it's gonna suck. You either die alone with no one to die next to, or you die alone next to your other half holding their hand. Either way you shape it, it's not a pretty ending. There's something going through your mind before you die. It's shit, I never found someone. This fucking sucks. And then you're done. Versus shit, I found someone and now I have to leave them behind. This fucking sucks. And then because if you think about it, we all die alone, regardless if you date someone or not. Dating does not change a goddamn thing. You know, someone left a comment on my YouTube video, on one of my videos. They were like, I hope you have fun dying alone. Like they were trying to troll me and shit. And I commented back, we all die alone, man. You're no exception. And you know what's really fucked about this whole thing? Like, women at a certain age, their sex drive goes through the roof and they can't get enough of it. When men hit the same age, they lose their sex drive. That's just kind of like life's sixth sense of humor, if you will. When you're young and full of love, eh, you'll get it if she's in the mood, right? But then as soon as you get to that age where you can't, eh. That's when the test of the real relationship comes into play. Are you willing to stick with someone regardless of anything, you know? Can you stay with that person even if you can't have or do the nasty? And there are couples out there who can't have sex. They can't, and they make it work. It's the truth, YouTube. I've seen it. Yep. I'm telling you right now, just because your dick don't work doesn't mean the whole carnival ride shut down. Yeah. You got a tongue, don't you? You got a mouth, you got fingers. There you go. That's just it. Couples who, they make pills for that kind of thing, and even if the pills don't work, that, like I said, I mean, just because the roller coaster is shut down doesn't mean the whole carnival is going to shut down. Come on now. So why are you in a rush to be in a relationship? Are you in a rush to break up? That's the bigger question. You know why a lot of people's marriages end in divorce? Because people are in a rush to get married anymore. And then when they realize, oh fuck, they're not right for each other, you know, try living with the person for a year, before you make that decision. I mean, even if you're not living in the same house together, you know what I'm saying? And if at the end of the year, you could say, you know what, you know, Even if it's not like in the same house. Like 3 days of the week, you might spend the night at her place. 3 days of the week, she'll spend the night at your place. And then you have like Sunday and Monday to kind of break apart and have some time to yourself. Whatever. If at the end of that year you could say, you know what, it wasn't that bad. Ladies, you gotta find yourself a man who hears your incessant nagging and he's just like, music to my ears. You know, you find yourself a man, ladies, who will listen to you bitch and complain, and he'll be there to listen because he loves the sound of your voice and he wants to be there to help. But ladies, don't get it twisted. Just because you're having a bad day, come on. You think your man's not having a bad day too? So it's important for couples to be able to communicate with one another in the sense of, oh, hey honey, how was your day? Crap, this is what happened. How was your day? About the same. Here's what happened. You know, and then you're both at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you're both sitting there going, "Well, fuck, tomorrow's a new day, and we still have each other." There you go. Hi, I'm Dr. Cobra. Are you suffering from a dry spell, a lack of sex, companionship? Then might I recommend Chatterbait? The cam models are in control of what they do on their camera. It's not scripted. It happens in real life, live. Instead of bitching about your dry spell, masturbate to some Chatterbait and get over it. Because it could be worse. Anyways, YouTube, thank you for watching the night video, and I'll catch you later.